I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Those are the final two lines of William Ernest Henley's inspirational poem, Invictus. I'm Joseph Rupp. Welcome to the Motivation Lab, episode 1. And so today I'm going to talk to you a little about Invictus. Now, you may recognize the title a little bit more clearly because it was the title of the 2009 movie starring Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman, directed by Clint Eastwood, and Morgan Freeman portrays Nelson Mandela. That's important because Nelson Mandela famously recited this poem while he was imprisoned as a political prisoner on Robben Island before the end of apartheid and before he became Prime Minister of South Africa. And so the poem itself is almost defiant and resilient and about courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Here's how the poem starts. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. And so the poem, again, is defiant in the face of incredible odds. Now, what I was not aware of, what you may not be aware of, and part of why I share this as part of the Motivation Lab, is that Henley, from an early age, contracted tuberculosis. He got it around the age of 12, and then it got so bad that by around the age of 19, he had to have his leg amputated from the knee down. Next, over the same period of time, he lost his father, and so in a short period of time, he faced two personal tragedies. And if that was not bad enough, he faced losing his other leg. And if it was not for the brilliant work of a surgeon named Joseph Lister, he would have done just that. But while he was contemplating the potential loss of his leg, he started to write poetry. And one of those poems was Invictus, and it's part of a larger collection called In Hospital. Now, this poem is 16 lines, 4 stanzas, 103 power-packed words, and it has inspired millions of people. Now, Henley, by the way, was a contemporary of Robert Louis Stevenson, and you may remember that Stevenson was the author of the novel Treasure Island, and one of the main characters in that novel, Long John Silver. And what you may not know, and this is very interesting and it may be a small part of it, but Henley inspired the character of Long John Silver. Now, this was after he lost the use of his leg, but Stevenson had observed Henley hopping up and down in his room, trying to energize himself. He was trying to raise his energy. He was trying to find a way to physically increase his own spirits. And so you can imagine poetry itself was a form of doing the exact same thing, writing down in words what he was feeling inside and frankly what he was trying to increase in himself in terms of courage in the face of enormous vulnerability and personal tragedy. But that image of him physically doing it, so you have him using words and you have him actually physically doing it, which is its own lesson about how to increase your energy, one way to do it. So I'm sharing this entire story with you as part of the Motivation Lab because I have a couple of questions for you that you can use for yourself as self-reflection, or if you work with teams and you want to share them with them, this is part of the service, right? I'm asking you provocative questions. They're level 1 and level 2 questions, but I'm going to ask you one very simple one up front, which is, do you have a poem that has inspired you? And of course, the follow-up question is, what is it and why? And then the next question is, in the face of personal tragedy or potential challenges, have you ever had to bring yourself up? Look, it is great. We are human. We are social animals. You should look for others to help you when you need to. That is the way we are built. But sometimes it feels like you are alone. Sometimes you have to dig deep to find your own source of courage. And so that's the other question I'm asking is, have you ever had to do that? I will tell you personally, especially over the most recent year, 2 years, I have faced my own set of challenges. We all have, and that's a guarantee in life. We will all face challenges. It's how you respond to them. And sometimes it feels bleak, it feels hopeless. Can you imagine Henley in a hospital room thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose the use of my other leg? How am I going to respond to this? So I'm giving you those simple questions as a source of reflection, and then if you work with teams and you want to use it and talk to them about it, it is a way of potentially bringing you together and also encouraging people to draw on those strengths potentially at work, if that's appropriate. I'm not saying it always is, but it might be. That's the end. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you watching.